to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And if you're listening to us on iTunes right now, please leave a 5-star review. I got a bunch of dates coming up, comedy dates coming up, and they are scrolling below me here. I'll be in Atlantic City, New Jersey, the one and only Atlantic City, April 22nd and 23rd with Comedians of the Compound. These will be Anthony Cumia's birthday shows. So everyone's going to get pretty blacked out. Get your tickets now. It's going to be at the Claridge Hotel in Atlantic City. Then on May 14th, I'll be headlining TIFFs in Morris Plains, New Jersey. Then I actually just had some dates added today. September 8th, I'll be in Austin, Texas. I believe that will be at the Cap City Comedy Club. And then September 14th, I'll be in Philly, PA. I believe at the Helium Club. So as soon as those tickets are available, I will have them on my website. But without further ado, I am so excited to have this guy on. He's an autoimmune expert, a detox expert. He's a healthy man. Dr. James Wang. I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. It's Dr. Huang.
Huang, fuck.
Yeah.
I have like one Asian friend, so really I'm not able to pronounce things as I should.
It's all good.
Dr. James, it's so funny. Like, I don't even have that many friends who are doctors, so I even like feel awkward calling you a doctor because I look at you and I go, we're the same. I mean, other than the Asian thing, I go, we're probably the same age. We're probably like, you know what I mean? Like, we're just people. But like you're a fucking doctor, man. Like, I don't know enough doctors, but we met this October in Nashville at the Medical Freedom Rally. I think it was called The Truth About Cancer Live. And It was my first time to Nashville, Tennessee. It was at the beautiful Gaylord Opryland Hotel and Convention Center. It was pretty amazing. And then we bumped into each other. I forget at what point. And maybe
I think I saw you like being like a sneaky camera woman and like, and then you were trying to document everything that was going down.
Yeah, I was being very sneaky. I was running around with a selfie stick. I was like, I don't know what's happening here, but I have to cover this convention because who were the keynote speakers? Roger Stone was there. Karen Turk was there. A lot of people from like the sort of like health niche of the world, which I literally just the other day threw out the paperwork I got from that convention because I have hoarder tendencies. And so I was hanging on to these pamphlets from this convention. Like, who knows when I'll need to use this old discount code. But I just threw everything out the other day, so I can't even remember like the keynote speakers. But I want to know how you got to, how you found your way to the convention.
Okay.
And I want to hear your origin story.
Oh man. Okay. I need to grab this book real quick, which is over here. But
grab it. Go grab it.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's because I'm all into chemtrails, so that's why. And so
yes.
I was like, what's going on in the world, and why is there all this like crazy stuff in the air? Hold on, it's gonna be a little dark for a second.
I've always noticed the chemtrails, and like some at first I was like, well, maybe they're just cloud stripes. Look at you. Are you at work right now? Wow.
Yeah, it's a long day. That's why this is how dedicated I am to you.
Damn.
It's
what's your commute like back home?
Oh, it's like 20 minutes, not far.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see this is the office. I got a couple of tables and chairs.
Oh, are you like a chiropractor? Look at these little beds.
Yeah.
These little
I do a lot of things, including working with the joints and all that, but I also detox and do a lot of neurology, a lot of fixing the brain, tuning people up. I always give the analogy the body's like a car, but we'll go into that later. But I just want to show you I grabbed the wrong book. Whoops.
If you show me, just show me any random book, James, I'll be.
No, I gotta grab the actual.
Look at all the books that I have. Look, look at all my books, and look at the pile of papers. Yikes! How embarrassing.
This is the book for you. This is the book right here. You have to have this book. So if you don't have this book, it's time for you to buy it because they were selling this book.
Monumental myths of the modern medical mafia and the mainstream media, and the multitude of lying liars that manufacture
And
them.
look,
Wow, it's by Ty Bollinger, who is one
yeah,
of the founders, I guess, or
he was hosting. He was hosting the
he
truth
was
about
hosting
cancer.
the
I
event.
mean, he's the man.
So it's called Monumental Myths. Let me pop this into my Amazon right now.
Yeah, you gotta get it. You
Monumental
don't
Myths.
want to get it on Amazon. You want to get it
Get it
right,
on Goodreads or get it on
right,
the website there.
right here. MythBusters, Myth. Shoot, I'm not good at this camera thing.
Myth.
MythBustersBook.com. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's where you want to go.
Good. That's mythbustersbook.com. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm here.
So the craziest thing is my wife already. She's had this book since it was like originally printed, and
Ooh.
and that's what's so wild is that she had it just in her stash, and I somehow was asking about, I don't even remember, but I was talking about all the conspiracy theories that are probably in here. There's a lot of stuff in here, and she's like, "You got to read this book." So I bust out this book, and then I think I started following Ty, and then on Instagram,
Ooh.
and then I think he got deleted or censored, but then another one of my patients was like, "Are you going to that Truth About Cancer in Tennessee?" Like, and she was like, "I'm going." The craziest thing is that they ended up not going, but I ended up going. They
Oh.
didn't go. So that's how I ended up there. And I had no idea. I just knew it was going to be really like amazing, and especially since Ty has covered all these topics in this book that I was always intrigued by or like totally interested in. And also I'm a freedom fighter, if you know what that means, and like I'm sure everybody, you got your American flag there,
Yeah.
patriots. I mean, there was a ton of patriots there too.
Oh yeah.
it was like a trifecta or whatever. It was
It
like
really
there was,
was. It felt like a patriot festival. I was just like, I forgot the reason why we were there at times. I'd be like, "Oh, right, medical freedom, right." And
yes,
because it's
yes.
like you hear the truth about cancer, you think, "Oh, this is gonna be a very cancer-focused convention." But it really wasn't. It was just about people like, yeah, medical freedom, basically like, this was October, so everyone's kind of, the jab is sort of top of mind, and it was
Mhm.
and this was one of the few events that you could go to that you didn't need a vax. Being from New York, I was excited to go be part of something that you didn't need to show proof of vax to be let in the door. So that was
Yeah.
good. Um, that's so neat. So did you actually speak with Ty Bollinger? It was Ty
I
and
did. I
Charlene.
went up to him right in the beginning. I think when they were trying to getting things sorted, but I chatted with him a little bit, shook his hand, got a photo, and I was pretty stoked. And chatted with Charlene, and I met a lot of people. I mean, I'm sure you did too. I mean, I'm like everyone in the media room, and I got interviewed by a couple other, I guess, channels, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and all my people were there. It was like my people. I don't know if
Yeah, it felt that way to me too. Like, oh, these are my people. Right. So this is Truth About Cancer. Oh my God, I kind of like miss it already. It was fun. I really wanted to get all the like free samples and stuff. It was just great. People there talking about like exciting supplements. And I know a lot of you are gonna hear this and be like, this sounds like bullshit. Like I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. You're like, oh, is this like astrology? It's like, no, I think what happened was like either Charlene or Ty, like half of their family just like died from cancer and it got them very intrigued about the whole thing, like causes prevention treatments. And like in this country, I know for sure, like the default, like my mom had brain cancer, and like the default is really just like, yeah, we send you to get chemo. That's the deal. They kind of discourage you from pursuing any other path. And most people end up just dying from the treatment, I think.
hmm Yeah, it's actually all in here. If you just open that chapter on, I think it's on chemotherapy. I don't know if that's so we can find it, but that's a, and there's also a book called The Truth About Cancer, which I also have, which is
Ooh,
really dense. It's super dense. Like,
alright.
but
Manuscript
my
coming up.
favorite chapter is chapter 5, which is about chemtrails. Uh,
Yes, how did you get intrigued by chemtrails?
well, I'd say it First of all, I love sunsets and in beautiful landscapes. I go to Tahoe all the time, but also you can just drive up a hill or drive to the beach and you see a beautiful sunset. But in 2020, everything shut down, and I was still going to work though. I didn't shut down. I'm like essential worker, so I kept going and I kept doing
And
my
what's your work exactly? You are, what would you call yourself, a detox man?
yes, EMF
You
detox.
do you do neurological tweaks?
Yes, I do. Okay, I'll explain that. So basically, I like to keep it simple. I call myself more of a holistic doctor, and I treat the body as like a car. So if you think about your car, it's got physical parts. So that's the muscles, joints, ligaments, tissue, skin, fascia, bone. So I can treat every joint in the body. So I have a background of all of that stuff. So it's like physical therapy, chiropractic, acupuncture, all that stuff, all mixed into one. But also I treat the body chemically. So that's going to be nutrition. So we have fats, carbs, proteins, and vitamins and minerals. And then the last part would be the computer system, which is the brain. So it's very complex. That's the neurology side. So left and right hemispheres, all the cranial nerves. It's very detailed. So when people come in here, they may have an issue with their leg, but it's really coming from their brain. Or they might need to detox their gut because it's causing some nerve to not fire properly, so their legs don't work. So it's a lot more than just what people think exists in the world. It's very holistic and it's very thorough.
What was your schooling like? And did you always want to get into this like line of work, or
My
did it
schooling,
change?
okay, well, no. so in a nutshell, so I actually have in this book right here. Uh, you can see my
Wake Up
face.
Miracles. It looks like a 23andMe. It looks like an
Yeah,
ancestry.com.
I know. There's my little face there.
Ooh.
So I wrote a little chapter in here. I called it "Life is a Miracle." Okay, and it's just basically this is a story full of miracles, but they're more medical miracles. So um, yeah. So what happened with my story was I was just like any kid. I was getting into sports, but I really fell in love with extreme sports. So like snowboarding,
Oh, wow.
skateboarding, wakeboarding,
Parkour.
parkour. Yeah, I did parkour as a kid. That was just like before it was parkour. I was just like jumping on trees
Just
and
running around.
yeah. So, but I got into snowboarding and I got like really into it. So I was going as much as I could. I got severely injured
Are you
though.
goofy or regular?
I am regular.
Me too.
I'm goofy. I'm both actually. I'm goofy and regular.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're
so
bisexual.
yeah. So I got injured really bad, and then I went to all the normal medical route. Went to the MD, and he said, "Oh, here's some drugs," and I didn't get better. I went to the PT because I do these exercises. I didn't get better, so I was kind of like depressed. I actually gave up. I was like, "Dude, I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with like my busted shoulder and my wrist. I couldn't even pick up a pencil." So
Oh,
I had,
damn.
I had neuropathy basically, and extreme nerve damage. And long story short, I ended up meeting a holistic chiropractor, sports chiropractor, who it was my first session meeting or first time meeting someone like that. And he said, you know what, we just need to fix the nerves and you'll be fine. So I just gave it a try. I went in, first visit, it's like the typical chiropractic story. He like cracked everything, like my neck and my wrist, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I
Your
saw
Did he crack your neck, your back, your pussy in your crack? All right. All right. Never mind.
All right. I don't know that
Oh,
song.
I just thought we were on the same page.
Oh, yes. Sorry. But
I'll have to send it to you.
um yes, all but then he basically fixed me up and then I was kind of blown away. And so the next yeah, that's it. Two visits he fixed me up. So then I blew my mind. So I was like, you know what?
Wow.
I need to figure this out. Like so I just basically like decided I'm gonna always have a chiropractor. I got back more into snowboarding and then eventually I was like, I need to do this for a living. So that's kind of the short story.
Wow.
But in the path, I realized that there's a lot more than just the physical part. There's also nutrition, and there's also the brain, and that's when I was working more on complex cases. Like I wrote it all in here, so it's all in this book. But yeah, so that's how
Your
I
book
started.
Miracles that I haven't read yet.
Yes. But anyways, my life experience led me to what I'm doing today, and then every day I see miracles in the office, and so it's pretty awesome. And I get to treat. I just treated a ballet dancer just like 30 minutes ago, and she could barely lift her leg up, her foot. She had a lot of pain and cramping, and then after we were done, and she has a lot of specialists that she sees and people that are part of their team. But I'm kind of the last resort person, so they usually send the person to
You
me.
see a lot of desperate people.
Yeah, a lot of desperate people. Yeah.
Because they've tried the traditional routes and they
Yes.
haven't worked for them. And then I see in the chat people calling you woo woo, kind of bullshit, which I'm sure you hear and see all the time. So people come to you as a last resort and you cure them. But like, what do you say to people that say, "Oh, this is BS. What you do is sort of like
Well, because
fruity."
the thing is, it doesn't matter what my title is, and who do you consider an authority for health. So I give the analogy of the car, right? You take your car to the shop. You don't really care. You just take it to the shop, and then you leave, and you're happy. Your car drives away, and you're like, yay. But if people are considered something woo-woo, then they better come and see for themselves, because then they're just like a spectator. You got to be a participator, not a spectator. You got to see what's really happening. So again, I've never, I don't criticize anything unless I've tried it firsthand. So if you never come in, then you can't say anything. That's it.
Yeah. I think people feel that comes from a place where people feel defensive, like they are afraid to go outside their comfort zone and like put their faith and trust in somebody who they wouldn't typically do that. But right, like think about how many doctors we've all seen who are like super overweight and you go, "Ugh, like what business do you have giving medical advice? Like you're a fat sloppy mess."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I speak for myself in terms of my health. I represent health. Like you were saying, I'm probably I'm a healthy person. So, so I can actually prove it though, because I got my cells tested in a lab, and they looked at my cells and how healthy your cells are, and also did a heart variability test, which actually tests the state of your heart. And I scored pretty much according to there's a biological age test. I tested at 8 years old for 40. I'm 42 now, but I tested this at 40.
Well, you're Asian, James. You're gonna look 8 years old. That's come on. That's
No, it hasn't been. Yeah.
that's your people. You look very young for a long time. But your cells are like 8 years
Yeah,
old. That's pretty cool.
cells. Yeah, and so I was pretty surprised because I didn't go in like knowing that I was gonna do this test for that purpose. I just basically I have colleagues and friends and researchers that work that we're basically health nerds, and she does a lot of research on products. For example, I have this I have things on here that are considered woo-woo in a sense, but this is a grounding bracelet, so it grounds you. So
What's in it,
because
like
of that,
copper or another crystal?
no, it has 4 elements that are found in the earth, basically, that help you with, infrared energy, ionization, magnetic energy, and the other one's germanium. So I'm not really sure. I have to look up germanium again, but it
Do you
is a
wear it to
stone.
sleep?
I wear it all the time because how can you survive in the microwave world that we live in? We live in a microwave, we got 7G and 8G and 10G.
No,
So
so we're not just talking the 5G cell towers, because I hear a lot of people are
oh no, I'm
worried
just
about
trying not
that.
to say 5G, but yeah, it's all
Oh, whoops.
it's okay. It doesn't matter. This is your show, so you don't get censored on your own show. But
I mean, all the G's that are more than 4.
yeah, but yeah. So I wear this all the time. But I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so she tests products like this. So basically, she'll look at people's cells under a microscope with the product and without the product, and then she can see And then she also tests diets, switch diets. So she's like gone through all the diets, and out of all the diets, the Weston A. Price diet wins. I would say keto and carnivore diet wins, and then all the other diets are not that great.
Ooh, yeah, I'm on keto right now. I was like a little bit off this weekend, but like I'm feeling better on it. Like it also helps to simplify your life. Like when bread is just kind of out of the question, it's like, okay, it's
Yeah.
nice.
No. Yeah. So no, I think keto's really it's basically about high fat. So we need fat to function. So this is why it's all backwards. Like everyone thinks fat's bad, but fat's actually good for you. And if you don't have fat, you're gonna have bad teeth, you're gonna have bad bones, bad skin, all that stuff. So you need fat, and your brain doesn't work without fat either. Um, so it's okay to be fat. Oh,
Yeah.
not really fat, but like it's okay to have fat.
Yeah. That's why you were throwing back an avocado before we went
Yep.
live.
Yep. So as you can see, I'm actually very like considered very fit and thin, but I eat a lot of fat. So that's why the fat diet or the non-fat diet actually is not healthy.
Okay. Right, that was all the rage in the 90s. It was like I remember my mom, like, she was on every diet. She'd have, like, the low or no fat stuff in the house. But then we would do Atkins together in South Beach, and we did the master cleanse together, which is basically, like, this crazy juice cleanse, which was, like,
So
lemon,
yeah,
maple syrup. It was
yeah.
crazy.
I'm not into
Yeah.
all the cleanses so much. I do detox people though. Mostly though, the most important thing to detox is heavy metals, and so that's what people are dealing with. And this is why I wanted to talk more about chemtrails. So I'm curious what you think about them. What do you know?
Well,
Or
I've definitely heard, I talk to a lot of different people, and I have heard that there are groups that are able to control the weather. I've certainly heard about DARPA.
Mhm.
I've certainly heard about HARP,
Yeah,
which is a high frequency active auroral research program.
yeah.
It's something that I don't know a ton about, but I always like to think like anything is possible, and there's just so much that's being kept from we the people that like
Yeah.
I wouldn't count anything out. Like if it's something that the powers that be or the state can benefit from or make money from, like yeah, they're probably on it. So if controlling the weather is among those things,
So just so you know,
yeah.
there's a random mosquito that flew into my room here.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm gonna try to snack. I'm gonna try
I'm
to
pretty
snack
sure
it.
that that's mosquito was sent by the FBI
Yeah,
to
I
shut
know.
down
They're
this conversation.
spying on me. They wanna secretly inject some poison in my
It's it's got a tiny camera on its head.
body. But yeah, no, there's a lot going on, and I do think that the weather manipulation is happening like crazy right now, and we're seeing it. We're getting a heat wave
What
literally like in the
what
next.
do you think would be the benefit of manipulating the weather?
Money. It's all about money and control. Money and control. That's like what we've been seeing this whole time. Money and control. Money and control. So because if you can, I forget. There's actually some president or someone famous said if you want to control the people, control the weather. You know.
Because what, we all stay in when it's cloudy and overcast?
Well, not only that, but they can block the sun, right? So we don't get vitamin D, so we get sicker. So it's all about getting us sicker. So the more
Oof.
sick we get, they
So we
sell us.
rely on them. Yeah.
Yeah, so then they sell us a bunch of drugs. But you can control the weather so that you can control the politics too. So like if you make it, say you want, oh, let's like put a hurricane in Louisiana and New Orleans, and call it I forget what it was. What was
Katrina?
that? Katrina, right? And then the next time it's gonna be Larry, and then it's gonna be Monica, and then Nancy, and then Pelosi. So like basically, it's just
Pelosi.
so
We've been experiencing Hurricane Pelosi for more years than we should.
yes.
We're here to
So
talk about term limits, yeah.
but you create that hurricane, and then all of a sudden you destroy this area, and then you create a fund for it, and then everyone's like, okay, so it's the same thing. They create a problem, and then you call it global warming or climate change and all this stuff, and then create a fund for it, vote for me, and then you throw all this money in there. So there's just this basically people donating money to this artificial thing, like problem that doesn't really exist. It's created.
Right, did you, did you hear about Bill Gates wanting to block the sun out? I mean, this
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
like, this like an episode of The
Oh,
Simpsons,
yeah.
honestly,
No.
like a cartoon villain would
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
block the
No,
sun
he's
out.
Bill Gates has definitely talked about it publicly all the time. It's all on papers. And then what's even crazier is that there's an anime series called Matrix, like Reanimated or Matrix. I don't know. Anyways, it's like a cartoon, and they talk about how they have to block the sun. And this is like an old cartoon. Like after Matrix came out, they have to block the sun to stop the robots. That's what this series. Oh, the robots are going to take over the world. So then they block the sun out, and then everything dies. And this is like
Whoa.
very dystopian kind of. It's like the same as in the Matrix. Like we watched the film. It's like everything's dead. They're like, it's like really dark world. So I kind of see the same thing like happening now. It's like predictive programming happening all over the place. And but the craziest thing is people don't even think it. You point to this guy. I did this fun interview when I go snowboarding all the time, and I'm at the ski resort, and I go to the workers. I say, hey, what's that big stripe going across the sky like up and down? What do you think that is? And they're just like, oh, those are just planes. Those are the contrails. They're just flying. I'm like, well, why is it going this way and why is it going that way? And they're like, I don't know, but
Wow.
yeah.
And you're
And
like,
then,
"We're fucked. Nobody's even curious about what's going
yeah,
on."
yeah. And then next thing you know, like everyone has allergy symptoms. Everyone's like coughing and sneezing and sick. So,
So you think this is all just to sell allergy medicine?
well, no. I mean, I think that's right now. I think maybe I posted a meme on this, but I think during the spring season they might do that, and then you know, then they go, oh, let's Omicron everybody, so they just like spray it in the air, and then everyone has Omicron symptoms, and then
Wow.
let's circulate COVID again. Let's just put it out there, and then
Are you saying this is not from a bat, that perhaps they're spraying it around? Anything is
yeah.
possible, right? Like, I remember when they were
Mhm.
saying, "Oh, like, the New York City subway is going to be testing a new system, like spraying a non-toxic gas
Yeah,
into the New York City subway system," and I was like, "Oh, fuck that all the way off. I just won't take the subway for the next month, like, I will happily walk everywhere." Like,
yeah,
why would you
sure.
knowingly go into the subway when they've told you that they're gonna be spraying stuff in there?
I know. No, it's like it's insane. So the big thing I'll show you right here. So this one here, you can see. Oh,
Solo screen, here we go.
says DDT is good for me.
Hmm. Oh,
So
cute.
they spray DDT in the air, and they sprayed it on all the kids, and everyone thought it was great because they were afraid of polio. So it sounds like COVID, right? They like, oh, instead we're going to inject them. Everyone's going to inject it, but you don't know they could secretly be putting in the air as well. So we're dealing a lot more with that. And it's such a trip. So everyone look up DDT and polio, and you'll find all sorts of stuff. That's like
DDT, hold on,
and polio.
DDT.
Yeah, DDT and polio.
DDT and polio vaccine. Everything you learned about the cause of polio is wrong. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fun deep dive. And all the propaganda, there's so much propaganda saying DDT is good for you, right? DDT is good for me. So literally kids were just like getting sprayed with poison and then getting polio symptoms, and then they blamed it on polio. And then people got the vaccine from polio too. And then, and then they got the symptoms even more. So it's
Oh, wow.
very similar to what we're dealing with right now.
Damn. I just feel like there's so much to keep you like, how can you trust anybody? The more I feel like the older I get, the more I learn, the more I just like I do not trust our institutions.
Yes. That's why everyone needs one of these.
It has been needs one of, oh yeah, your make vaccine manufacturers liable again. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so damn. This is a lot. This is a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm. It is.
We got a
So,
question from Matthew Hammond. Hold on. Why are the drug companies pushing drugs for plaque psoriasis? What is causing an increase in it?
hmm.
Ooh, what a smart
I
question.
haven't looked at, but obviously it's probably the air too, or it could be the water. But psoriasis definitely it's going to be related to like the liver not being healthy. So it sounds again like a toxin that's in the body, and it's probably from the air. I don't know.
Okay.
That's my guess. And
Okay.
they were pushing the alopecia thing, with Will Smith and the whole thing, like in
Do you
Jay-Z.
actually believe the slap is like happened to push a new Pfizer alopecia medicine?
I mean, not just for the medicine. It's actually going to be to push the whole alopecia thing. So there's going to be a big foundation. There's going to be all this like propaganda for like alopecia.
Really? You
Yeah.
think this is big alopecia's moment?
Well, yeah, it is. It's the same with ALS, right? They did an ALS thing, the bucket challenge. Remember that ALS bucket challenge? Everyone dumped
Wow.
a bucket of ice on their head.
You think there's gonna be an alopecia challenge?
Probably. Everyone's gonna shave their heads. Watch. Everyone's gonna shave their heads. It's gonna be
Like,
like
big
shave your head.
fucking deal. It's spot baldness, like, and people were even saying it was because she, for decades, wore, like, crazy tight braids and lace front weaves and shit like that, so it's like, I don't know, to me, this doesn't seem like no judges, to me, this doesn't really seem like that big of an issue of all the problems of life.
Well, the sad thing is she's just the spokesperson in a say, or they are all. And then the reality is probably people actually are getting alopecia from getting jabbed. So yeah,
Oh, wouldn't that be so perfect? Right, like, if that is one of the side effects from getting the jab, they're like, "Oh, so many people suffer from alopecia, and now we have all this alopecia awareness." It's like,
yep,
"Oh, I guess I have that too." Like, since we
exactly.
only remember what's happened the last 10 minutes. Same thing with,
Yeah,
like, I see all these bogus articles, like, if you had COVID, you could get these heart problems, and we all know it is not about
yeah.
having it's from the
Hmm.
other thing that a lot of people got. Yeah, a lot of people got the thing. A lot of people also got COVID, but they're trying to blame these future heart problems on getting COVID and not
Uh-huh.
maybe something else we were all forced
Yeah,
to get. So it's very
exactly.
interesting to see, um, they're just like, yeah, the preemptive, like, they're just putting out this information or these theories or the studies or whatever. It's like you can make a study about anything that you wanna prove.
You can. That's why they're lying with data, lying with statistics, right? That's like one of Bill Gates' favorite books, Lying with Statistics.
That's a real book?
Yeah, you can look it up.
What would you say to the person who is skeptical of chemtrails?
Well, first they should at least read this book, and then they should watch the skies like on the daily and be like, how come those planes are flying all those different directions? And then if they really want to, they could test the air by putting a cup of water outside on different days of the week and take it to a lab and just see what's in the water or what's in that. So you could actually test the air. You know, that's what I would say if you're a skeptic. Um,
Where would you go to get it tested? Like, most people don't know of a lab.
I know it's tough. There are certain like water treatment plant labs that would check the water, so that would be the best place to go. Otherwise, you can buy kits, which I did. I bought a heavy metal test kit, and I tested the water on December 22nd of 2020, I think. Yeah,
Oh.
and I found high levels of mercury in the water. Yeah.
Whoa.
And then I tested all my patients around that time, and they all had high levels of mercury showing up in their body, so that it was very correlated. And this is a time when I actually work in Walnut Creek, where it's usually sunny
Where's
and
that?
warm. Walnut Creek's about 20 minutes from San Francisco.
Okay.
So it's always sunny and warm. San Francisco is always foggy, right? San Francisco's foggy, and Walnut Creek is usually sunny and dry, no fog. Okay, but December of 2020, there was all this random weird weather, and it was super foggy. So I decided this is not normal. So I stuck a cup of spring water. I put it outside, and I let it just gather in the fog for like 5 hours, and then I bottled it up and I tested it with my heavy metal test kit. And I did multiple tests, and I found every time that it showed up high levels of mercury. And so then I found that my patients were also, and I do energetic testing as well, which is considered woo-woo, but it's really an electrical test. So basically what happens is if I take that water, and a lot of people have done these tests, basically there's a frequency in that water, there's a negativity of that water. The electrical charge of that water is actually going to cause your body to go into a stress state because that water's been poisoned, or it's not, you don't want that water. So so this would be known as frequency testing or electrical testing. People call it muscle testing. I don't know if you've ever looked that up, but anyways, yeah, I love when you look up mercury poisoning, the symptoms of it.
Mercury poisoning, symptoms and early signs: nervousness and anxiety. I mean, everyone has this. Irritability or mood changes, numbness, memory problems, depression. I mean, I have a bunch of these. So shoot,
Yeah.
how does one test for mercury levels?
Well, that's what I do. There's different ways to do it. You can do a heavy metal panel. They can do a hair. They can take a sample of hair and urine, and then you send it in, and then they'll test it, and they'll tell you what heavy metals are in your system.
Damn.
So there are labs, but I do it. I can do both labs and energetic. Energetic testing is kind of more the modern thing. So you can look up cell core biosciences, or you can look up morphogenic field technique. Those are. But look up cell core. I think Bioscience is the company. They just had a recent conference in LA, Orange County. I don't know if you can find it.
Ooh. Okay. Let me share this.
Yeah. Or you can look up morphogenic field technique. But I think
redefining the way you view root cause solutions.
Oh yeah.
Cell core bioscience.
Exactly. Yeah.
A lot of this doesn't make sense.
So so he's a colleague. I know him pretty well, Nick Carruthers. He's in the East Coast. I think he's in Jersey. But is he in Jersey? Yeah. Anyways, they're just known for detoxing people, this company. So they test everything energetically. So
how do you do an energetic test?
You can look at what they do here and you can find out. But it's actually, so in a nutshell, just think of a light bulb, right? A light bulb turns on because there's a battery and there's a wire and there's power going to there's a circuit basically, and the light bulb turns on. So with that knowledge of the circuit, there has to be the right battery. Basically, the power comes from the battery and it creates that circuit. So you can take anything like, for example, if my liver is having issues, my liver needs it likes vitamins K, A, D, and E. Well, no, it needs B vitamins to function. Your liver needs, like, it stores B vitamins. Like you're drinking wine right now, so your liver needs water. It needs the D.
It's only because this was left over from the weekend.
Okay, so to make it simple, your liver, if you want a healthy liver, then you don't want to have too many toxins, and you want to have the right amount of nutrition in your body. So, but if you drink wine or beer or alcohol, it depletes B vitamins from the body, which are stored in the liver. So if I was to test the energy of the liver, it's kind of like testing a light bulb. Then I can do an energetic test, which is usually known as a neurological or neurological test, where I test the muscle. So say I'm testing this, like people do a muscle test with the arm.
Yeah, I've seen that, where they're like, oh, you try to like push it down.
Yeah, so basically this is a circuit. So in order for the deltoid to fire, that's the light bulb. There's a circuit, right? Firing, boom, boom, boom. But I can actually test the liver circuit by touching the liver, right? And then testing the muscle, and that tests the liver circuit.
Wow.
So then if the liver circuit blows out, then I can give you a B vitamin, right? And usually you can taste it on the tongue, or you can put it on your body. It doesn't really matter. It will test your body energetically. And if that muscle goes strong while you're touching the liver, that means that was specifically the right supplement for your body, for your liver.
Are you saying you can put a vitamin on somebody's body, like the outside, and the person will test stronger?
Yes, unless
No,
there's
that's crazy.
yeah, unless there's like copper or lead or some kind of interference. There can be things that interfere with that, or you have like a cell phone in your pocket because our bodies are electric. So there's things that can affect the way the flow of energy works. But outside of that, yes, it works, and that's because our bodies are electric. That's so if you were touching a battery like a wire, and then you were touching a wire and the battery it went through, and then there was a light bulb, the light bulb would still turn on because our bodies are flowing with electricity and we're conducting electricity. So it goes through. It's kind of like when you electrocute somebody, but you're like touching something else, and then
Oh, yeah, I do that all the time.
yeah.
Mhm. Nesquick, thank you for the super chat. Harmon says, "Thoughts on inflammatory issues as it relates to cheap food production, diet versus growing/hunting your own food for
Mm.
diet?"
Okay. Well, to keep it really simple, most of the food that we eat are full of chemical toxins like pesticides and GMOs. Um, so obviously, if you have toxins in your body's going to have inflammation. It's just,
And inflammation shows itself in the form of, like, you like joint pain, right?
well, yeah. So there's joint pain, but there's just swelling. It doesn't always have to be joint pain. You can have swelling in your liver, your kidney, your bladder, like all your organs. Your brain can be inflamed. Um, so yeah, so definitely if you grow or hunt your own food, then you're gonna make sure that that food is not tampered with, right? It's gonna be more natural. So we're dealing mostly with Monsanto, and which is the evil company that basically makes sure that we eat GMOs, um, and then we have fast food like McDonald's. It's all genetically modified food. It's not even real. So you're basically
Wow.
eating like chemicals instead of nutritious, yummy
How
food.
can somebody tell if what they are eating is, like, GMO? Like, so obviously, like, stay away from fast food. All fast food, even, like, Wendy's, even Taco Bell.
Those are all fast food, but yeah, if you're gonna eat fast food, I mean, maybe you could lean more towards Chipotle or something. They at least
What
like
about Shake Shack? I do like their burger with no bun lately because keto.
yeah. So I don't know about Shake Shack or In and Out. Like they're still cutting corners, so you'll know by how long it lasts when you leave it out on the table. So
Oh.
if that thing's still good to eat, like a day later or 2 days later, 3 days later, 4 days later, I mean, maybe it wasn't really real food.
Okay, wow, right, and that we've all seen videos where they leave out McDonald's fries and it takes, like, weeks
Yeah.
for them to break down,
Yes.
months even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
always, like, the less packaging, the better in terms of,
yeah. So you want to go with fresh,
yeah.
local.
Mike,
Yeah.
Oglesby, I just wanna touch your knee. I know it's strange. I'm not sure what this is about, if it's my knee or your knee.
Probably your knee.
We get some weird ones, James.
Yeah.
From Matthew Hammond. What are the drug companies pushing drugs? Oh, we already asked this about the plaque psoriasis.
Yeah.
Um, Il Shayu, I thought this was an interesting questions. I just don't understand how single exposure to a specific chemical from a chemtrail would cause a week of negative symptoms and not affect others in the same locations. It seems improbable.
Okay, I can explain that very easily. Okay. So again, our body's like a car. So we have physical parts, chemical parts, and we have a computer system. So a lot of the people that all they get sick, they usually have problems with their brain. That means that their computer system's not working. So so for example, our bodies, without doing anything, digest food and it detoxes, and it what else it does? There's a lot of things. It helps us breathe. All these things are normal functions in it. But number one, it detoxes when it's functional and it digests our food and absorbs nutrients. But if your brain isn't working properly because you pulled an all nighter, or you play too many video games all day, you're like wired from video games. or you got in a major fight with your spouse, or you binged eat a bunch of McDonald's fries or something. I don't know. Like so your brain just shuts off. It's not working. So then it's not detoxing, and it's also not absorbing nutrients. So even if you ate like really good foods, so you could have symptoms for a week because your brain didn't even know that it had a toxin in it, and so it's just like lingering and letting it fester.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
or you can have history of concussion, root canal, or stroke, and that also makes your brain weaker too.
Oh, okay. Sugar makes you bloated and magnesium brings down inflammation. Do you agree with this?
Uh, Possible, yeah, definitely. I mean, sugar makes you bloated mainly because of bacteria that gets formed in the gut. So if you feed, I mean, bacteria likes sugar, so you're basically feeding the monster.
Hmm.
So
And cancer loves sugar too.
yes, it does. Yeah.
Ugh.
So don't eat sugar.
What do you say? I'm sure there's people listening that are like, they've either checked out entirely and stopped listening, or they're going, okay, this sounds nice, but it's very overwhelming. And maybe you're somebody who's never thought about, like, you're just someone who's like, oh, I eat steak, I eat salad, I think I eat pretty healthy. Like, what are some easy tweaks that people can look out for? Or like, um, are there specific foods that happen to be more toxic than others? Like, would you say that, and there's also people who think like, oh, organic food is a grift, it's bullshit, it's not worth it. Like, what are some easy tweaks that the average person can do?
Well, the easiest tweak is to eat fat, like eat good fats. I talked about that earlier.
So
So,
steak,
yeah, but
avocado,
well,
eggs.
steak's not really fat. A lot of people eat like top sirloin. There's no fat
Okay.
in top sirloin. Some
So
people,
ribeye
yeah,
and
so ribeye, yeah, eat a lot of ribeye
strip steak.
and short rib, and then you can also eat chicken thigh. You can eat fried chicken's okay sometimes. It's like good fat. Olive oil, though, is really a winner. Olive oil and avocados. I mean, those are like the winners, especially if you're in California. But I don't know if you can get avocados in New York, go for it. But they all
Probably,
come
but
with
they're like
problems.
$1,000 each.
Yeah, so you might want to grow your avocados for that one guy who says you can grow it. That's the benefit of it is you
Is
get
he a
really
grower or a shower? I couldn't
yeah,
tell.
yeah,
Okay. Alright.
yeah. But what else? Oh, drinking spring water. You want to drink spring water because it's a natural form of water. It's not going to be like filtered tap water, which is like drinking toilet water. I mean, would you rather drink, like, say I peed in a cup and I filtered it? I said, here, this is filtered with the best filter ever. And then say I even pooped in the cup. I filtered it for you, the
I'm
best filter ever.
listening.
Yes, I
Okay.
gave it to you. Or I go straight to the mountaintop and I get the fresh spring water and I put that in a bottle and give it to you. Would you rather have the mountain spring water or the extremely expensive filtered water that I put in?
I guess it depends if we were dating, if you had certain kinks. Okay, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
alright.
but you,
So,
you get that. Yeah, see, so that's
what do you
why
how do
spring
you
water
how do
wins.
you feel about fruit? So you mentioned that keto is good. How do you feel about fruit? Because I know a
I
lot of
like
us like
I think fruits are good for antioxidants mostly, and then just for like pleasure. Like it's good
for
to eat
fun.
for
Okay.
fun and dessert. But there's a lot of antioxidants in fruit, and then also if you can't get clean water, like say you live in Mexico or somewhere like where there's no clean water, the fruit actually has clean water. It naturally filters the
Oh,
toxins out. Yeah,
wow, okay.
yeah.
Okay,
You use a
okay.
bunch of watermelon or something.
Poly walnuts, so soy is so bad for you. It's sprayed with, um, glyphosate. It's in
Yeah.
almost everything processed, even in pharmaceutical grade testosterone. Do you agree with
Yeah.
this?
Uh-huh. Yeah, soy is the most genetically modified substance. Yeah, that's why you got to avoid soy
What is soy
products.
most commonly found in?
Cliff Bars.
Cliff bars, really? Because to me, you go, "Oh, okay, I'm working out, I'm gonna grab a Cliff bar."
Well, with
But
soy
it's
sauce too, but yeah,
oh,
like Cliff
what?
Bars, and I'm sure there's a yeah,
Damn.
I know.
Okay.
It's like you're basically eating cardboard.
Okay, yeah, no, it tastes like shit, but I eat tons of stuff that tastes like shit because I think it's gonna be healthy and good for me, so
Yeah.
okay,
So
okay,
carnivore
interesting.
diet, I would say carnivore diet's also a winner. You should look up the Liver King if you have it. Look him up, Liver
How
King.
does it go? Liver.
King. Yeah.
How do you spell that? Keen?
Just king, like a Liver King, like king of the
Oh,
jungle.
King. Where
Yeah.
are you from? You have a weird accent.
I don't know. I'm from California.
California? There you
Yeah.
go.
I have a nasally accent, like I'm like surfer dude or something. But
Yeah. Liver King. All right, that almost looks like a Hunter Biden shot right there. Liver King. Oh, look at this guy. Is he the
yeah,
Liver King? Holy shit.
yeah,
Damn, he's jacked. He
he
looks like
is.
Dan Blazarian, but like really jacked. That's
He's
a very
yeah.
specific.
You gotta like
Ooh,
he walked through like uh Times Square with like I don't know like 300 pounds behind his back. Like he's just nuts. And all
wow.
he eats is fresh animal. He just like
No.
he like kills it and just eats it raw. Yeah, yeah.
No. What a
You
Chad.
gotta
Is he
check
on
out his
Instagram?
Instagram. Yeah, he has an Instagram. Yeah,
Gasp. Oh my god.
yeah,
Okay, I'll do whatever this guy says.
yeah. I
Look at
know. I'm
him.
telling you.
I mean, I could go with a little less beard, to be honest. But you know what? If shit's going down, I wanna, like, have this guy's phone number.
Oh yeah,
Look at him doing a handstand against a tree. That's great.
yeah.
Damn.
He drinks like
Okay.
he just drinks blood. That's like
No.
yeah.
Whose blood?
He drinks the cow or whatever animal he's eating.
Holy
Yeah.
crap. Is he on steroids? You
Yeah.
didn't say no.
I
Look at this
I have
guy.
no idea. I doubt it though. He's on the carnivore
I
diet.
gotta
He's
pull up this IG here.
yeah,
Damn. Liver King.
yeah,
Follow. Dirt. Okay, he's about the cold baths. He
yeah,
looks like he's about to burst.
yeah.
Wow. On the
You could,
subway.
after watching his videos though, you're gonna want some blood too. You're gonna want blood. You're gonna liver, raw liver.
Holy
Um,
fuck.
yeah,
Is this him drinking a glass of blood?
yeah,
Ah! No, no.
yeah.
Oh
I
my
know.
god.
This is definitely what's. Oh, I have to show you this picture. Let me see if I can find it. My my patient was wearing this amazing shirt today. Uh,
Look at this guy. Ah. Whoa. Eating testicle. He just had a testicle on his plate.
this
Oh.
is for all the I guess the vegetable lovers out there.
0% vegetarian?
Yeah.
So you're not
Yeah.
about it. Holy cow. Is there a danger of getting parasites from drinking blood and raw meat?
I don't think so because of the how fresh it is. I mean, he gets it like he kills it and eats it right away. So I think that's the key. It's like everything's about the vibration, just like a fruit. You pull a fruit right off the tree, it's like totally different than when they ship it to you. You know.
Right.
So
Wow.
um, so that's kind of how it is. It's like
So if you can grow anything on your own, that's better. Even if it's like a small like lemon tree or
oh yeah.
tomato tree, like even if it's one plant, that makes a difference.
That's why some restaurants they actually have all their vegetables, and then they just when they pick it from their own garden. You
I
know?
mean, look at this. He's shooting fire. Is there anything this guy can't do?
No, I don't think so.
How old is he?
I have no idea. He's probably much older than he looks. Like he could be like 50 or something. He could be.
Uh, I'm like, he's got chains hanging from his dick area. Damn. All right. I feel like so fat and useless upon looking at his Instagram. All right. Well, this is what I'll be looking at for the rest of tonight.
yeah. But
Thank
yeah.
you for bringing this into my
Right.
life, James.
Yeah. You're welcome. I think it'll change your life. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Are you a big worker outer?
No, I'm
No.
I'm more of a active sports guy, So like I get my exercise by being out in nature. I'm a nature dude.
You're a
Yeah.
hiker. Yeah.
Oh, not necessarily a hiker. I'm more snowboarder.
I love snowboarding. I was so disappointed this season at the upkeep or lack thereof of the mountains, like, on the East Coast, like,
Yeah.
I go to Pennsylvania a lot, like, in New York, and there was a mountain I went to that was, like, on the border of New York and Massachusetts, and, like, this year in particular, the upkeep has been, like, really, really horrible, like, just generally not making enough snow. The conditions were really bad, and it was, like, a sad showing. It made me not wanna invest in, like, getting my board waxed or, like, getting a new snowboarding outfit, and it
Yeah.
makes me feel like, "Okay, do I just have to go to Vermont? Like, do I just have to go to Utah, like, do a snowboarding trip?"
I think you have to go to Japan or Alaska these days. I mean,
Really? Okay.
yeah, maybe Canada, but you might get yeah stuck in
Do you
Canada.
think they just got I feel like they just got lazy after the pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just right now. It's just overwhelming. There's too much on the news. I just live my life and just kind of try to ignore it a little bit. And well, I've actually become like a what do you call it a chemtrail watcher. I
Oh,
just
yeah?
I just look in the sky and I'm like, oh, there it goes.
What
There's
chemicals are they releasing into the air?
well, there's another guy you can look up. His name is Dane Wigington. See Dane Wigington, I think Wigington, and he's been researching chemtrails like for his entire life, probably since he was born.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and
So
so he
they
has
must
a
love him.
documentary called like The Dimming, I think. Um,
Okay.
but look, type it up and you can show everybody. But this is like he's pretty much the man in the chemtrail world. But but I definitely know there's mercury and there's a bunch. I think there's a lot of other chemicals like aluminum, and he says there's barium, strontium. I mean, that's according to also the literature from the government. Our own government lists like what's being put out there. So the other term I didn't talk about is geoengineering. Okay, but he's got ton like libraries of
Okay,
information.
he's the lead researcher for geoengineeringwatch.org.
Exactly. So just so you know, chemtrails is just a term for the planes, but really there's chemicals coming from the ocean. They're coming from probably factories, and then definitely coming from planes. So there's a lot more than just planes releasing crap into the air.
Okay, damn. So this doesn't sound necessarily like, "Oh, it's global warming, it's climate change." This sounds like intentional fucking with the environment.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's actually weather manipulation. So everything, because if you think about it, all of this is a cover up really for weather manipulation, even though they say that we have the ability to do it, which they did in like what's that country? I can't think right now. They do it in China. They changed the weather in China. They manipulate it in China, and then all the ski resorts say that they manipulate the weather, make it snow, and also
Really?
yeah.
Well, they're not doing this up here in, like, the PA, New York area because there's not enough snow. It was, like, sad
No,
this winter.
they can also make it not rain or snow. So that's the thing.
Hmm.
We have the control. It's like your AC, right? You have AC and heater. So we can turn the AC on our car. It's using chemicals, right, to create the cold air, and then we can also make it hot, right? But they probably don't. They use chemicals to do it. We don't, like kind of like a heat pack. So so it's definitely possible to do that. And I have yeah, and that whole website talks all about it. She talks about all the chemicals that they use to cool the earth or to heat it, and they do it. They try to do the opposite. So in all the mountains, they're trying to make it not snow, right? That creates the global warming. And then in the areas that are normally hot, like Texas, they make it snow. So they go climate change.
Oh, like it has, yeah, like, last couple years randomly snowed in Texas, and people are like,
Yeah,
"What's
yeah,
happening?"
exactly. Yeah.
So, like, what can any of us regular people do?
What can we do? Well, we can first learn about it. So go to the website, and then there are people that say if you really want to be hardcore, like to me, it's really about awareness. So that then once you know that they're spraying the crap in there, you don't go outside. Like I don't go outside in the mornings a lot of times because it's all controlled up. So
Really?
I wait till it clears up, like around 3 or 4 p.m. It's usually clear, sun's out. So I wait till the sun is out.
But when most people that's when most people have to go to work,
I
is like
know. It's true. So this is why they're screwing with everybody.
It's because they
So
know people. It's like rush hour.
yeah. So you might have to pick and choose. You might have to stay inside until the blue skies come out, and then just take advantage of that one day of blue skies. Or I go onto weather.com and I actually study the cloud formation, and it's actually very predictable. It's crazy. Like their satellites show where the clouds are going, and I find the
Oh,
little pockets where there's no cloud, and then I might drive over there.
okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
and then also certain hills and mountains, the chemtrails don't go up that high. So I drive to the top of this one mountain in Berkeley called Tilden Park, and I hang out there all the time because there's a certain level of where the chemicals. It's just like when you pour, like, say you make a beer and you do the black and tan, right, and you see like one,
Yeah,
it splits. So the same thing happens with the air. There's a split, like smoke rises.
yeah. Okay, right, because it's got like a different weight to it. Oh my god, interesting. This is overwhelming, James,
I
and I
know.
don't know. I just feel like most people are not gonna be able to wait till 3 p.m. to leave their house. But, like, I imagine, like, if you feel like you're eating pretty decently and staying active, but you still feel, like, lagging and lethargic, like, yeah, maybe look what are, like, the most common, cleanses that you think most people need to look into?
You don't need to cleanse so much as drink spring water,
Okay.
and also you need to keep your brain healthy. I think that's the biggest thing. So, um, yeah, that's number one. So a lot of people that don't do anything that they love. You gotta enjoy life.
Okay.
Enjoying
So it's we're
life
not
is
talking crossword puzzles, we're talking about, like,
go
do yeah,
watching the
go get your
sunset,
goals.
or like hanging out with your dogs, or just, or you gotta. I mean, it sounds like for. I mean, I don't follow your channel that much, but I have a feeling that you share a lot of raunchy jokes, and you probably love
What? Who, me? I mean,
you love romance, and like,
romance?
and love and kisses, and so we need to have, like, it's important, like, if you're married or not married, or if you have a partner, it's important to have sex. Like, that's normal. You need
How
to
often? Just to put it out there. Once a week, once a month?
everyone's different, but I'd say at least 3 times a week.
Wow, wouldn't that
Yeah.
be great?
Yes.
Okay.
So, but that's yeah, I mean, that's part of, like, if you study Chinese medicine, that's about the bladder meridian. So the bladder meridian runs all the way down through the whole body, including in the back of your butt area, or I mean, like,
I'm
all
talking
the way
about the
down here.
taint.
What?
Alright, sounds like you're talking about the taint area. You said the back of your butt.
Well, I mean, saying it runs all the way down your spine, all the way,
Okay.
into, so you're basically from your vagina, and then even the front for the man, it's like where the dick is. So that just means that,
I'm not a biologist, so I don't know if I'm a woman or not.
all right. So it's all good.
Call
But
back.
I'm just saying, like, it runs down the whole body. So when people have sex, it actually stimulates the bladder meridian, which is a very important meridian in Chinese medicine. So,
Ooh.
but it also stimulates the parasympathetic response, which calms the body down. That's why when you actually have an orgasm, or men ejaculate, then it puts the body into a parasympathetic state, which is that really relaxed state. So that's part of it. But you can get that other ways. But I'm just saying that people who are married or in a couple relationship, it's also part of what is healthy. You know.
Yeah.
But you get it also, hugs and all that stuff. Human interaction. We need to interact with humans in real life, not just on social media.
Yeah, just hug people. If you're waiting in line at a deli, just hug whoever's in front of you and be like, "Look, I need this. I need to
Yeah,
release a certain hormone to stay healthy."
exactly. That's key.
No, it's so important. Physical touch is so important.
Yeah, eye
Uh,
contact, smiles, all that stuff you gotta do, and
butt pats, just pet random people. Um, yes, James. This was great. I Where can people follow you, find you if they're living in California and they need to get checked out? Where can they go to set up an appointment?
um, on my link tree is the easiest way, so it's just, or my Instagram, but link tree, actually, go to my Instagram. I have different ones. But I'm just curious if I want your followers to find me. Actually, I don't know if I want them to. I'm just kidding.
Wow, I think you're judging my followers
I'm
very
not judging
much.
your followers. I'm just playing with you. But basically, just you can go to linktree.com/Dr. James. That's the easiest way to find me.
Yeah, I am following you. I don't know why it says follow. Um, Dr. James Huang
Well,
on Instagram. You post a lot of um probably no stuff, but it's all stuff that I love. Klaus Schwab. Yeah, I'm loving it.
yeah. Go to the Valentine's one. Go down. Go down. Go down some more. Scroll down. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Click on the steak one. Keep
This
going.
one?
Click that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. See.
Oh, this is great. Did
Yeah.
you eat the whole thing?
Uh-huh. Well, I shared it, but yeah, it was I could have eaten more.
Ah,
Yeah.
do you have a boo?
A boo.
A girlfriend?
Oh yeah, no, I'm married.
Oh,
Yeah, see?
even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I
Yeah.
love this.
Yeah.
Alright. Check
Go
out
listen.
James's link tree. Check him out on Instagram. Thank you so much for coming by the little show and chatting about everything from chemtrails to how important it is to hug and bang and all that stuff. It's late. I'm tired.
Yes.
I'm a little out of
Yes.
it. We'll do this again sometimes, James. You're the best. It was good to see you again.
All right.
Thank you, chat, for all your interesting questions. Until next time. Bye.